I heard about this. I was God's told me to start sharing this story a few years ago, so I started every chance somebody asks for it or give me opportunity to. Now I try to give it to anybody that listens. So, I started off with I worked in Publix, and I was supposed to go to a different one in a different city and everything. And then things happened where I just couldn't go. And then I was so down, I was so depressed about it because I was trying to go to help my sister and her new family and everything. I wanted to just be there, be close and help them out. They had their second baby, and there's a lot I could do to help out with that. And so it really put me down that I couldn't go. So somebody where I was working at, she was more connected with God. I was still learning who God was, and I didn't really know Jesus yet, but she did. And she was telling me things like that happen. There's something for you. So there's something. She's smiling when she said this too. She's like, God's got something for you here. And I didn't understand what she meant, and then later on, almost a year later, I met somebody who she she had end stage kidney failure. Well, at the time it wasn't end stage yet, but it was getting closer. And then, a lot took. I started kind of praying to see if I should do it because her family couldn't help her. Some of her family just wouldn't. I'll never understand that. So I got tested and see if I could donate my kidney. And, you know, and it took a long process because they got to make sure you're mentally stable and everything too. And besides being okay to do it physically, you know. And so when they finally told me that I could, the doctors told her that she had about a month to live because she had reached end stage kidney failure. And so we got the surgery, we got ready for it. And 2 days before, I had to take another test just to make sure I was still good. And all of a sudden, my creatinine was going crazy or whatever. And I had too much protein, not enough water in my diet and everything. And it looked like it wasn't going to happen. And that really put me down because I was like, excited to do this for her. And then I prayed. I looked at that like, if this doesn't happen, God's telling me that it's not supposed to. So I prayed and I said, God, if you want me to do this, let me be right for this when it's time, in 2 days from now. If you don't want it, if I'm not a match, if it's not okay, I'm going to take that as you telling me not to do this. And then I ate less protein. I drank as much water as I could. On the day of, kidney was all good. It was ready to go. So she's now saved. She had a 3-year-old daughter who now has a mom to have. And I just remember the whole family revolved around that daughter. That's what I kept on thinking. I'm like, no matter what happens, whether we stay in or not, like I'll never regret this because like her whole family, that daughter gets to grow up with her mom. And so yeah, so I've had to overcome a lot of obstacles since then, but it was one of those things. It's like, yeah, that's hard, but that's why they call it a sacrifice, not because it's like, here, I have this extra thing for you. Sacrifice is something that you have to give up, and it's been a lot physically to come back from. I've had things that happen that messed me up mentally after that, but no matter everything that happened, I still tell people like I would do it again, and it's helped me to find Jesus. It's helped me all the things I've had to deal with ever since then. Physically, your kidney it's got a heater system in it, so I've been colder ever since. But another thing is your energy level. I had a lot of energy, and then it got cut in half. And when you have no energy, you don't feel like doing anything. You become lazier. I started having to deal with a lot of stuff. And I used to judge people. It helped me realize that, I used to think, why would this person not do this extra thing? And I'd get annoyed with that. And now, after dealing with that, I understand not everyone has that kind of energy. So you don't have that kind of drive. And that's something I've had to rebuild, so still struggling. But this has been about 6 years, 7 years later. I'm doing a lot better. Still some things I have to struggle with. I have to drink about almost three of these full gallons, half gallons, to keep things running. But as long as you keep on going, fight through it, you push your body, you push your mind, you will get where you need to be. Just keep praying. God's not letting you go. He didn't let you do something just to screw up the rest of your life. He wants you to have a testimony. And I wasn't sharing this. This is the coolest part right here. I wasn't sharing this testimony for a little while because people kept saying, "Oh, Eric, you're such a great person. You're better than me." I kept hearing all the time. And at first, I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Thank you." But then after hearing that so much, I'm thinking, I feel exalted. I feel like I don't want to think of myself as better. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna keep this down. So I started just telling people when they'd ask me why I had to go to the bathroom so much or why I drink so much water. Oh, I got a bladder issue. I got water's good for you, whatever. I didn't want to tell people. And so I had two different friends told me that this is part of your testimony. You didn't have to go through this to not tell people, man. God wants you to tell people. And I was
He
like, all right, well, now think
does.
about it. And
Thank you
then
so much. I'm so sorry your time is up. I don't want it to end because this is very, very wow. I'm like
I can finish in
speechless.
10 seconds if you want.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so then I had a dream, and this little girl looked at me saying 3 times, God wants you to share your story. I woke up. That's the end of that.
That isn't wow. I can't I mean, I don't know where I don't have to know where. Thank you for doing that seriously. Wow. There's a lot of things you can buy. You can buy shoes, you can buy bags, but buying life, you can't do that. So, I mean, you literally, I mean, thank God for you bringing you into her life, you know. Wow. I'm just so happy you were able to do that. That's incredible. And I'm glad you did. Like, I'm just so happy you did that. Wow. That's like really incredible. I can't wait to see how this does online because, like, this is a really incredible story. But seriously,
Well,
Eric, thank you for doing that, really.
if you guys want to follow, I do life lessons to try to help pass wisdom on. My Instagram is Eric underscore Showtime underscore Chandler. I try to pass on the wisdom God gives me. Hopefully, helps other people. So.
Thank you.